Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We got a few people here today. That's nice. Today is the first day of the week in the U.S. of A. This is the official end of the summer in our minds, like vacationing and so forth. Some people do try to get some the weather is really good. We're 60. See, Celsius wise, we're in the mid 30s or high 30s. Today might hit 100 degrees in Fahrenheit. A lot of times we refer to it as Indian summer. It's still summer, but summer ends in the end of September. See, late June, so to July to August, and August to September. Exactly, yeah. So it officially in 20 days. Let's see, what is it? Today's the 5th, so 16, 17 days it really ends. But in America, we have this really colloquial, kind of childish way of looking at things, simplistic way of looking at things, old-fashioned way of looking at things, and we refer to it as because children goes back to school pretty much everywhere in the United States, and so we kind of think of vacation time is over with. And so anything given to us by good weather, we think, oh, it's Indian summer. I don't know, it's probably racist in these times anyway. But anyway, and the end result is that, here we are. It's the alleged beginning. Money managers are going to be even more serious than they have been over the last couple of weeks as I've been saying over and over again. Money managers are really started buying a couple of weeks ago, and the sellers tried to dominate, and obviously you can see the markets are higher. Same situation with we have the dollar index up there. You can see that right there. There's the weekly, right there. There we go. You can see the weekly's up right there, and it's trying to lift back up again. It's not going to get. There's the all-time high right there. So we're in high territory. It's like when we look at the Turkish lira with the Euro Turkish lira pairs trade. That's orbiting around the all-time highs all the time, and this is kind of doing the same thing. As you can see, let's see if we make this the whole screen for a second. Okay, so you can see back in 2018, it's trading at 85. And there's the all-time high. It tries to come down. It's doing the same thing here. If the economy really gets, if everything plays out the way it's looking, okay, the dollar is going to be even firmer or steady and consistent. And then the fundamentals. Oh, there we go. Hey, Robin, and hey, Mountain. Fall should start September 1st, and we should start December 1st. Yeah, exactly. I agree. And so the fundamentals, of earnings and CPI and PPI and all the statistics that are important, labor and inflation, is going to play into this because the dollar is going to stay firm to some extent in here, because if everything plays out as I was saying before, the way it looks, the American economy is getting ready to take off. Mr. Biden's in his last year, and this is after he's gone, we're going to go back to the Trump years again, where we made enormous amounts of money, and all boats rose. The black employment was never lower in history, and the Hispanic employment was never lower in history, and the woman unemployment was never as low as in history. In other words, we had a really good economy. We had, energy prices low. Let's see exactly. Oh, what was Robin say? It does 316191. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we should stay with the evens. I like that. It's like playing with prime numbers. And so, what this has to do with currencies. I know some people might be saying, why is he talking politics? It's because politics runs the financial world. And when people deny that, they obviously don't understand the markets, and in result rarely make any money unless they're in private business or they have a government job and they're making some money. In other words, markets are controlled basically by the government's influence of policies, taxes, so forth and so on. So what I'm trying to get across out of that long-winded description is the markets are seeing that there's going to be a Trump market again. And so it's hard for them to sell it down. Every time they try to sell it down, notice it's back up again. and the economy is going to keep on battling into the upside, because until they see where he's not, and Biden has something like almost 59% not approval and a little under 40% approval. It's like 38 point something. So I mean, he's in a fair election he's gone. Trump won in a fair election last time. Problem is that after midnight and 1 and 2 and 3 days later, votes came in out of nowhere, and legal or not, they accepted him, and next thing you know, Trump only lost, I think, by they said in like the 3 major states for the electoral college by 44,000 votes. That was it. And Mr. Trump also got the most votes any sitting president has ever gotten. It's really odd to lose that way. Something's definitely not functioning right there. So anyhow, that's why I think the dollar is going to stay steady. I believe it should be lower, and it would be lower if only the rest of the countries in the world, or the major countries in the world, or any countries in the world, would work better at having freer markets and freer opportunity for businesses to grow. And then you would see the dollar weaken, because money, American dollars, would run to those places to make money. But when you have governments around the world doing their best to make it hard to make money in their country, then that money runs to America, because that's, as we like to say, it's the cleanest of the dirtiest shirts in the laundry. That's what America is. And that's not exactly a compliment. It only says why people run here to buy, why the dollar is firmer than I think it should be. It's because there's no other game in town. That's the problem. The rest of the planet wants to practice some type of form of socialism. And you notice what happened to Sweden. Sweden turned around and threw those socialists out the door. And they're starting to do it in Germany, and they did it in Italy. And I think they're trying to clean up England, because England's got too many middle-of-the-road Tories that are, one moment they're pro-business and the next moment they're pro-green, kill cows. I don't know. Nothing makes any sense. All right, so that's the end of the story of why we see a dollar index refusing, as you can see up on the screen there. Let's widen it out like that. Just refusing really to break down into these, break the century mark more than just that once. We need a stronger world economy. Where America is competing, not dominating. And you can't make that happen by hurting the American economy. You have to help the weaker economies get their act together economically and more better, or more accurately, and that is through better legislation that allows individuals to make money and grow and not be taxed to death at the same time. So that is my clarity of the morning, and why our dollar just refuses to break down when it should. It's because there's nowhere else to go. All right, from there you can see on our new platform right there. And if anybody wants to try to use this platform for free, you're welcome to for the next couple months. We're battle testing it. And let's see, where is it? Let me move this up like that. And move that over like so. Move this over like so. And then move that back over. And see, we're just getting it going. You can see here it's down a little bit. Let's go take a look at it on the daily. On J4X right there, and it's still lifting up. This here is showing a little weakness, and let's see what the Chicago Quant old platform that we're trying to replace, right there, and right there. Okay, yeah, I had it up already. Okay, and so let's see what we got here. That is today, that was yesterday. Let's put it in this way. Let's see if we can do this. Just 24/7. That's a little bit better. All right, now let's move that over so you can see it. There we are. Close. And you can see the dollar. There is Friday. They're still giving us a quote from yesterday. And there's today. It's firm. It's in a buy now for, 3 days now? Or really only 2. But it's reflecting the yesterday's holiday market right there. And the weekly's been strong down in here now for over 5 weeks now on the slow. This is the slow algorithm, and the little dotted line is the fast. But we are very conservative here because people are trying to figure out how to make money, and so we try not to, take great risk to make money. We try to show you how to take, small risks to make money. And our math is 8.5 out of 10 times right. And depending on the vehicles you use, and I'm talking about cars, I'm talking about options versus spot versus futures. When you marry binaries and underlying product, it can be very profitable. Same thing with options and the spot or futures or, that combination. So, it brings down your chances of losing only like 1 out of 10 times or 2 out of 10 times, that type of thing. And if you keep on playing it right, like you're playing on a crap table, the next thing you know is you're definitely ahead, not behind. So there we are. There's the dollar, and that's why it's strong. And hey, Mountain, what's he say? SPY? Let's see what the SPY's up to this morning. Right there. There we go. Here comes the SPY. I think it's going to pop up instantly because I think I saved that last with Robin. Robin chases after that thing too. And it closed in a sell on Friday. And you can see it's kind of sideways to nothing at the moment. You can see the weekly you can see it right there. It's at 0.08, now 0.7. It's actually through. We have the dotted lines showing you that we're just flirting with the weekly buy number. You can see the fast last week closed in the weekly buy. And so we're looking for another daily buy that might take us up into this area here where it takes out the 460 area. So, and there's a lot of news. I think there's a lot of fundamental information that comes out this week that could have some influence. But I think that all weakness seems to be purchased. And again, what I said earlier today. There's a problem with finding another place to invest. That's the problem. Is that the investment community is trapped more in the United States now than ever. And foreign purchases are really far and in between. Probably, it was the old Franklin Templeton nature. They were very active, being foreign investors and domestic investors. I remember talking to John Templeton when he was alive. He would, he would be looking out 5 and 10 years how an economy might grow and what companies would benefit from it. And I remember one time he was trying to not convince me, but he was saying like, here's a stock that you just gotta buy, and I was like, okay, why? I trust you. Why? And he said to me, he says, this is Mexican Telecom. This is like in 1982, and it was Mexican Telecom. It was trading at $1. In the end, it traded up to about $300 a share because he knew that the Mexican economy was going to join in with North America, and that they were going to need telephone and telecommunications. And sure enough, he was right. And and he was like that with a lot of things, a lot of different companies around the world. And I'm sure he'd be frustrated to see how. I could hear him now. I can hear John now saying something like, "Buy the best companies in the foreign lands that are real companies, and you're buying a bargain." 10 years from now, they'll finally clean up their act and get going. And that's probably right. A little sip of water. All right, let's see what else we got here. Mountain says, so wait until we have sells on both daily and weekly for SPY. Right. Let's go back to it. Where is it at? Right now you got minus 0.04. It's flirting back and forth with the weekly. Okay, the fast is already through, so that has to give you pause to begin with. The daily, went into the sell on Friday, and it's basically almost unchanged. So in other words, to go short, we want to see the fast, that blue line down in here. I want to see it curve and head right below the top part of this manifold to believe that there's going to be some real selling coming in. Okay, and at the same time, the slow is trying to actually close in a weekly buy this week. It's starting itself right off on Monday here flirting in and out. Now it's at 0.000 and many more zeros out there. So, that's the that is the that's the game. That is the game right now. That is where it's at. And so if you're looking to try to go short something here in the stock market, I would be very careful, because there's more momentum on the upside, and our signals are telling you right now, don't try to short it. The time to short it was back in here on that sell when it was below the zero line and cleanly through the weekly right there that day. Breaking through, and the next day it closed, showed it below, and that was a good short. After that, we've gone into a buy that kept you out of the short. That short there gave you a win the next day, and by the end of the day, if you did not have stops or take profits, you gave away the money that the math told you it was going to do on a short-term basis here. At the same time, you can see here the weekly had bounced off the bottom of a deep bottom and started to climb and jumped through the slow and was showing strength. So you have to be cautious there. And then we got into the buy here with it coming up here. Unfortunately, this was in a sell. So the only thing we ever recommend in something like that is to buy call spreads or binaries and play it in a very conservative way. And if done like that, you got to win again. It's a winner, winner, chicken dinner. And so we don't trade the trade. We trade to make money. And so we use all our technical analysis to give us the clearest short-term and longer-term directions. Short-term being daily or intraday. And let me show you here. Let's go into, here is a intraday chart right there. Okay, this is the S&P 500. So this is basically the SPY. When the math turned up right there, it told you to be long. And what did it do? It went from 4,500 and change. I guess what 04 or 05. What was it? 0375, and ran in a buy all the way until this point right there. Because both see here, only the blue was minus. Right here, only the blue was minus. The greens were still plus. Here was plus, plus, plus. So this was still a buy, even with the red dots kicking in. It just told you that they were just doing a little digestion or consolidation, and then they took another move up. So this thing ran from 0375 in that buy to a high of 1775. Okay? Then it went into the sell, and you could see the breakdown. It went back into the buy right here, right there. And it was a very mild but still winning play. Went into the sell right here, which is what, 3. So right there. It went into sell here, a short, and won again. You see how they just keep on racking up the wins? And then you have a buy right here. And it was a small win, but it was a win over a couple bars. And then it's still in a buy from this point right here. It's still in a buy. Even with this digestion and consolidation, it was just an opportunity to get longer again. And look at it, it moved from, say, I don't know, what's that, 1275 to right now it's trading at 1775. So, and so the daily works the same, basically success rate as the weekly and the intraday. And so there's the whole system, right? And if you have any other questions, don't be afraid to ask. The idea is to make money, not trade. The idea is to make money, and we have a track record, and it's documented for like the last 40 years or so. And we send it out every night. I've been distributing it as a spreadsheet of who's in a weekly buy and who's in a daily buy, and when you look at the accuracy rate, it always plays out about the same, 8.5 out of 10. You get some products that are a little bit more funkier, and they'd like to do 7.7 and 2.3, and then you have some that want to go the other way. They want to be like 9 something, and barely 1% losses. So it's just, the math is good. The math is great. All right. From there, we'll jump over. If you want to see something, we'll put it up on the board and we'll look at it. But if not, we'll just go over to the euro. So let's check out the euro and see how the euro is doing this morning. And right there's dollar euro. And you can see they're still breaking down a little bit. We've got the slow right there trading at 23. We've got the fast trading at 8. Wow, 15-point differential. They're really putting a little punishment into that. Now let's go check it out over on Chicago Quant. Put it in right there. Oh, good. I have it up there already. We were playing with the Fibonacci. Remember that on, was it yesterday or Friday? I forget now. And you can see they're still breaking down and putting pressure on this product. We're in a daily sell now for 3 days since Friday. Right there. And we're still in that weekly sell. On the slow, we've been in a weekly sell since up in here in the 110-ish area. And on the fast, we've been in a weekly sell basically the same, in the 110, a little bit higher, 110-ish area also. So, it's the pressure is on, the product's, going sideways down, and there's not much action that can change that until whatever, maybe European Parliament would finally pass some law that makes things more profitable for somebody besides the politicians. What a unique idea that is, huh? All right. From there, we'll go over to the British pound, the great GBP, the great British pound. And there it is right there. Same situation in the daily sell for a few days. In a weekly sell below the zero line from right here in the 120, is that 127 and a half-ish kind of area? 127 area? 127 area, I guess it is, like right there. 126.69, 69 divine, and then you can see here on the fast it slid in there in the 128-ish area right in there. Was it 2 weeks late previous, and that pressure has been on the downside, and markets have that natural tendency to just zigzag and up and down because you have people moving in and moving out, and it's a consistent action. Money managers are adjusting here and doing that, and so on and so on. And then let's put you up on J4X right there, and there it is. See that same pressure, and the fast is now at 21. The slow is at 36. It's a good 15-point differential there again. And at the same time, there it is on our new platform we're developing. And again, if anybody wants to use the new platform, you're welcome to. Just contact Robin. There's no problem there at all. We'll give you a few months of experiment, or a month of experiment, or what, I don't know. We're kicking the tires. So as far as I'm concerned, until we really want to try to sell it, people could use it for free. And then you can see there that's it's breaking down, and you can see it here. It's breaking down, and it's been. Let me just make that bigger. These are part of the problems, the kicking of the tires. Yeah, so right there, just trying to get into the buy. I guess that was yesterday. And, it was a holiday, so I don't even take that serious to begin with. But it's been that sell since right there. And we're going to get that scaling changed around and so forth. We'll work on that. And that's it. And then we're willing to take any input you want to tell us about it, what you see wrong with it, and then we can try to fix it so that we can actually charge for it one day. And this way, it'll be a lot better than just the simple snapshots we send out, solely because, as much as they're great insight, now you'll have access to it all day long. You can just hit a button and take a look. And, you can take a look in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, or 3 times in the day if you want to try to get a better idea what's going on, that type of thing. So it's a very interactive product. At least that's what it's turning into. All right, from there we slide back over to, we're going to go to the Swiss. And there's the Swiss. Swiss is lifting up. It's in a daily buy now for 3 days. Everything's 3 days now. They're all joining in to the party on the upside there, which is not good. They're losing money against the dollar. Again, dollar being strong because, why? There's no other damn place to go. That's the problem. And trust me, real Wall Street traders, not happy. Not happy that it's that way. We want competition. We want to be able to cherry pick some really good company in a foreign land and make a lot of money from it. We're very happy with competition. Competition makes markets strong and healthy. And a lot of money managers are a little lost because without any competition, stupidity starts to reign. A lot of people start to do stupid things. Indeed, indeed. All right, now from there, we go from the Swiss franc. We head over to the Japanese yen. Right there, and there's Japanese yen doing exactly what we've been talking about. And a buy for 3 days in that weekly buy for a good clean 5 weeks, and the fast has been in there for a good clean 6 weeks. From the 142 area, and here we are playing in the 147 area. So it's been, it's just hard. It's just hard for for it to back off. It really is. And I know we have a new Bank of, Japan money, chairman, and says he's going to do this, that, and the other thing. But obviously, it's not going down to 125. It's heading past 145. So it is obviously not going in the direction they thought it should. Ah, that was another glass of water. I was out working in the field before I came in here, so that feels good. I'm hydrating. All right, now what else do we got going on? Oh, and Polina, if you are listening, happy birthday! I saw that. That was so cute. Always good to see you, Polina, in cyberspace. Always glad to see you. All right, from there, where do we go? We go over to there's the yen. So we've cleaned that up. Let's go take a look at the laboratory, the experiment. It's like the laboratory experiment. And that is the euro lira. Right there. There it is. And you can see all that money that they're trying to do to help prop this thing up is having a battle. They got down to 27 and change, and now the high out of that is 29 and change, about 2 full points. And right now we're parked at 28.82, and the fast is at 30, and the slow is at 46. So it's trying to tell us that the pressure is still on the downside. But over here, we can see. I can see, you can see, we can see. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Mouse. And you can see right, is that it? That's it right there. You can see it's just hanging around, and daily buy now for the 6th day. The weekly is launching itself up and away. And that big increase in the interest rates in Turkey is waning into the past. And we'll see how they treat it over the next couple days and weeks. But right now, if this thing closes back in, I think it was something like, let's go take a look. But I think we were in a weekly buy for 30 some odd weeks. We went into that weekly buy in mid-March. We fell out of that weekly buy 3 weeks ago, I'm sorry, in August 18th. So March 18th to August 18th is 6 months. March, April, May, June, July, August. 6 months, okay? So 6 months, it was like 26 or 27, 27 weeks the thing was in a weekly buy. Then they slid into the sell, and you saw the move. They knew they were going to do this, obviously. A week later, after it went into the weekly sell, what happens? They increase interest rates and give their insider friends opportunity to make beaucoup dollars, which is Vietnamese for a lot. So from there, the Euro Turkish lira is just not able to do anything but go the wrong way for the economy. I mean, it was nice to see it drop down there, and maybe it will keep it stalled for a little bit. But if they don't change economic policies, then why would anybody invest in there? And you need investment, not business to business investment. Just to buy Turkish lira and park it and collect interest is not exactly what you got to figure. The arbitrageurs must be having a field day. It must be like free money when they do get the position on right, especially if they can use the options, because there's such an opportunity at this point. All right, so from there we go to the number one brick, and that number one brick is ZAR, the Rand, South African Rand. And I know I usually go into my rant about the Mexican peso, but we just have to wave goodbye and say good luck. Glad you didn't get trapped into a situation that wouldn't have helped you. And you can see here we've been in a daily buy now for 5 days. And let me put the little line in there so you can see where it went into the daily buy. There it is right there. And one of the issues with the South African Rand is when it's going up, it's losing money against the dollar. And at the same time, when it's going up, gold goes down in value. It's like a double smack. So as much as we're pro gold here and think of it as an alternative asset to be invested in, they don't do a lot of good things for it. Unfortunately, it's been really upside down. And so let's go check that out. What it is what it is. And let's see if we can get it on. Let's put it on our new platform. Where are you, gold? You're around here somewhere. It's probably one of the first things I added. There it is. There's gold. And gold has been going up, which is really nice because the South African Rand has been going up. We'll take a look at it over on J4X. Right there. And it's showing a little weakness today. And let's go take a look at it on Chicago Quant. Not just but this way. It's right there. And you can see right there, it's been trying to roll over for a few days. It's lower from 4 days back. The pressure is on, but it's not really dropping that much, and it's flirting with the daily sell as we speak. The weekly has been trying to turn. Went into the buy here, kept you protected from the short, but it just couldn't get the weekly going. The fast finally got into a buy last week. Last Friday, the fast algorithm on a weekly basis got into the buy. But metals are an odd product. Paper gold is way more cheaper than physical gold. It makes it a very confusing thing to see things like that. You would want them to be working together, and unfortunately they seem to be working independently. So let's see what else we got. Then from there we go take a look at silver. There's silver. Silver's been in the sell for 3 days and it's been pushing down, but the weekly is trying to dance on the other side of that. That was a nice big buy too from that move. It just kept on. And when it did try to get into the sell there, we had a green and a red, so we had to negate that. You don't pay attention to it until the next day. Next day it was back up again. And sure enough, now we are finally starting to see some pressure, but the weekly is joining in on the upside now. So if we get, it's not that deeply up. And the fast closed last week in a buy. But, so the pressure has been on the upside. That's 2 weeks ago now. The fast, went into the weekly buy back in here, off of that big spike, and it was all right. It was a nice little movement. It was in a daily buy and all like that, and that was a nice winner chicken dinner, of course. But the metals don't act right. I've always said I think they're way undervalued, but that doesn't stop them from not staying undervalued. That's the problem, and it is always the problem. You may interpret something way out of whack price wise, but it doesn't mean it's going to change. And usually there's a more logical thing that's keeping it that way until finally it all becomes obvious. And when it becomes obvious, it's kind of fascinating how that happens. It all of a sudden becomes obvious, and it's like, yeah, why didn't I see that? And the math does see it, and it's like, oh, now I know why it was doing that. So Let's save that. Silverado is saved since we were here visiting. And then copper. And copper is really stuck in that confusion also. China is basically what pulls the trigger on it, and there's talk that they're going to bail out some domestics again, and they have like the numbers are so small compared to who they claim they are. I think they only have to pay $5 billion on the bonds. It's like, why is there even a second question? You're allegedly the second largest economy in the world, growing. Why is $5 billion hard to do? If you want to be the world reserve currency, why is $5 billion Mount Everest to you? And all these bankruptcies that go on in China. And exteriorly, it's even worse for the foreign investors. So, let's see how it looks like. I'm going to go to default. Yeah, so there it is right there. Let's put that line in there. So it's playing with the daily sell. It's also flirting with the weekly sell. I mean, it's in the weekly sell for 3 weeks. The fast is not, which is interesting. The fast is hanging out. Let's make that copper. We're going to save that now. There you go. So copper, I guess all those ghost cities and so forth are really putting a lot of weight on everything in China at this point. Between that and a weak American economy that just can't spend willy-nilly in China anymore, sure makes them angry. They're communists. They don't understand that. There's like, well, order them to do that. Tell them you will shoot them. Lock them up in prison if they don't sell hot dogs with a hot dog stand making, $300 an hour. Shoot them. That's all they know. They don't know anything else but violence when it comes to governing. That was a joke, guys. Okay. All right, now from there, let's just save that. Let's go take a look at platinum. There's the platinum. Platinum's in the second day of a sell. The pressure's on. It's closed in the weekly buy last week and still seems to be holding up. The fast is breaking down a little bit in here. That's something to be concerned about. But maybe we're going to see some metal buying. I think this is particularly the time of the year that, gold and silver start to lift, Now from there, what do we do from there? We go to palladium. Let's look at palladium since we have a client that's following it. Palladium's been in a daily sell for 3 days. The pressure's on. It's been in that weekly sell now for, which is interesting, is that the slow went into the weekly sell first, and then the fast joined in with it. And so that's been in a weekly sell for a good, what's that? This is the 4th week in the, when you get into the sell here. I guess that's what it is right there. So, from the $1,250 area, it is now trading with a low today of $1,182. So there's the pressures on that metal also. Palladium. Alrighty, from there, that does it for the metals, unless someone goes, hey, Doc, put it back up there. I want to see X. And if you want to see X, I will show you X. I have no problem looking and analyzing any product out there. I always enjoy it. With good math, I'm very happy to do so. All right, now from there, let's see. Let's go to, where do we go from there? Let's go to, I might as well just shut that too at the same time. Oh, no, we've got the last one. We have Canadian. So here's CAD. Here's dollar CAD pairs. It's been on a rampage going from the low 131 area, 131, 131. I think the low is, what is that? The low is 130.92. Basically the 131 area. Went into the weekly buy there, and you can see it. It's only found one way to go, and that is up and away. And what was interesting is the slow got into the weekly buy, and then the fast joined in. And boy, when the fast joined in, it was a rampage run. They just kept on going. And it's been in a daily buy now for 3 days. And so it's pressing its way up. Normally, when oil goes down, the Canadian dollar gains against the dollar. In this case here, oil has gone up, and the Canadian dollar is going in the wrong direction against the dollar, which is very odd. But it's been that way for a while now. It's, this last couple of months, it's just not been able to perform, and that's probably because of the the combination of things of the confusion and Mr. Biden trying to destroy the oil industry in general, and just really odd stuff. Real crazy stuff. So there's the Canadian, and let's take a look at it up on J4X. Right there. As you can see, same situation, looks the same way. I think we have, let's see what it says over in here. See if we can put it up on there. Do I have CAD? I must have CAD on our new platform. There's CAD. Let's see what happens there. There we go. Yeah, now that needs new scaling on the daily. See how it's flatlining there? And then, but the weekly is fine. The scaling is fine on the weekly. It's been in a weekly buy now. What's that? 3, 6, going on an 8th. That's 2, 4, 6, 7. It's 7 weeks in a buy. Is that today? Yeah, that's today. So 7 weeks on there. Over on J4X, let's see what it looks like there on a weekly. And we got 2, we got 4, we got 6 weeks there. And you can see the fast algorithm. In this case here, it's the fast stochastic. And that's trading in the 87. And the slow is nowhere to be found. Where did you go, slow? Oh, well, that's an interesting. Oh, that's, yeah. Where are you? Let's try that again. And there it is right there. Huh. Not sure. Let's see if we can make it bigger and maybe that'll do it. Let's see, what do I do? I go like this. Ah, there we go. It straightened it out. Now I'm not sure why it's delayed like that. I'm not sure what's going on there with the J4X, but in this particular case here, the product is really orbiting along. I don't know, what's that date say there? It says the February? Wow, okay, yeah, it's a weekly. So for some reason, it's not reflecting it at the moment. I imagine if we close it and open it, it'll straighten itself out. But that is where we're at with this product. And when you go and look at oil, there's Brent. It's been climbing. It's is that 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2 is 9. So 9 out of the last 10 weeks, it's been in a weekly buy. And we go over to here. Let's find crude oil here. Let's see, right, where are you? Crude oil, there it is. The October contract. Yeah, that should do it. There it is right there. You see we've been roaring along in a daily buy for, what's that, 7 days now. And you can see we've been in a weekly buy for a bunch of weeks. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 weeks alone it's been in a buy. So Canadian should be, instead of it trading at, let's just put the Canadian back up there again. Instead of Canadian trading at, like 136.10 at the moment, or 11, it really should be more like 130 or 129 or 128. But it's, for some reason, it's moving away from the oil trade altogether. Go figure, huh? All right, that does it. That cleans up our look at the, oh yes, let's look at natural gas too. When we look at the Canadian, we go look at natural gas. So let's check out natural gas. And there it is right there. American natural gas is trading at $2.57 5, 57 cents 7. Yeah, that's what that is, $2.57, almost 58 cents. And so it's hanging around in there. And then we find what Europe is up to in it. And here it is right there. This is a Spanish energy company that pretty well tracks the European natural gas market. They're very active in that arena. And you see here is a 26.60, 26.26, not 26 or not $2.60. It's actually $26. That's how far out of whack. What a great arbitrage. If anybody's got a boat floating around that likes to hold natural gas, boy, you want to ship it to Europe because they want it. And then from here, we'll look at, let's see, where's it? Let's take a look at natural gas. There we go. And there's natural gas. You can see it down to $2.58 like it was on J4X. And let's go take a look at it over here. We have that energy company on here that we can show you. The one we have up on the J4X screen, the Spanish company. Let's see if we can find it again. There it is right there. And you can see there, it's been in a daily buy for a ton of weeks, a couple of weeks now. And you can see here it's been in a weekly sell now for 4 weeks, going on a 5th week. Ever since up in here, it went into that weekly sell. And then it turned around, went into a buy down almost at the low of the last months, 3 months or something like that. Or 2 months. And you can see the bounce it got, and the daily showed it. And the weekly is having a hard time joining in on it. It doesn't have that lust or desire. Oh, you can't see that. Let me just go show you. Sorry about that. There it is right there. So you can see it's been in that weekly sell, which is good for Europe, and it's been in that daily buy. And so it's telling us that there was a bounce coming, and the bounce came. And that seems to be where we're at the moment. They cannot seem to get out of its own way. Oh, what do we got here? We got something. There's Janos. What did I miss? I have U.S. Working hours today. Do you? We talked about the first 8 or 9 minutes. We talked about the idea that the reason why the dollar is firm is because there's no other place to go at the moment. And that would be great if some of these foreign countries would loosen up their business rules and allow people to invest and make money, in their own home countries. And so we started off talking about that. Australia did not hike rates. Oh, really? They were shooting to do so? With the inflation, with the unemployment lifting up last week and inflation lifting up combined together, it's going to be interesting. They may skip the rate increase here in the States and then go and do it at the next two and get up into like the 5 3/4 area, or maybe even 6. But they're trying obviously not to break as much as they could now that things are turning in that direction. So we talked about that, and then from there we just showed all the charts, and we're a little disappointed that the Turkish lira is acting more like it's trying to build a base to go higher again than it is to find a way to go lower. So that 25% interest rate is only going to live so long. Who knows what they'll come up next, but they really should take up the idea of changing their policies so that businesses can invest, so people can make money, and then they pay taxes, not just tax, and not care that they don't make any money. So that's pretty much what you missed at this point. Let's see. What else can we say about any of those? Let me go see if we can see what the Australian market looks like. Trading bonds. We'll throw it up on there. There's Australian bonds right there. Let's see what their markets look like. So the 1 year is trading at 4%. The 2 year is trading at 3.8. They've already peaked them. And their 15 and 10 years are trading in the low 4s, just like 4.16 on a 10 year and 4.42 on a 15 year. So yeah, I see that. That's not too bad. Interest rates seem to be relatively under control there. So that's pretty good. What else can we say about anything? Giannis, you want to see anything particular, any particular stock or something before we get out of here? We got a good 3 minutes still we can go. Give you a chance to think about that. And I'll get rid of this. I'm trying to think what you were following. There it is. And you're following. Let me go see what stocks. Eli. Oh, right. Let's go check out the pharmaceutical. Intends to review earnings. Okay. That should be interesting. Let's see what the math says about that. Eli Lilly. And let's put in that Snap. There's Snap this morning, trying to break down a little. That weekly fast got going and the others didn't. Now let's go find that format. Eli, let me. Let's see. We're going to find a symbol on it in a few seconds. Eli Lilly. Here it is, LLY. Let's find it. Investments, add a stock. Let me just double check that again. Oh yeah, LLY, that's it, LLY. There we go. Nope, not there. Is that it? There it is, right there. Add, close, and here we go. Come on, machine. Oh, I didn't say. I add. Okay. Close. Now let's do it. E. No, LLY. That's it. There we go. Here it comes. Ta-da! Woo, really high up, isn't it? LLY again. Close. Wow, it's been in a buy since like here. And then it went into the sell for a little bit there. Back into the buy again here. And then it went into the sell there. And the next day it was back into the buy again. Let's move that to there. Now let's see with the weekly. The weekly was in a buy. That's interesting. How the fast moved into the weekly buy and caught that big gap. And this must have been like earnings and so forth. It was in a sell for all of that until the news came out. That one didn't pick it up too much. The weekly picked it up, but the daily did not. And then that's pretty much the action we've been seeing. And I guess we can take, let's see, this buy goes right there. Let's move that out of the way. Move that over like so. And the sell is right there. There it is. I'm not too impressed one way or the other. I don't see much about it. Just I guess is that right? Lilly's trading at $500 a share? Holy moly. Didn't even notice that. So the jump was from 450 to almost 550 over a what's that over a 4 week period, something like that. Wow, talk about expensive products. All right, that's it, traders. How's that? All right, Janos, we will catch you tomorrow, same time, same channel. It's already hump day, so we're really excited tomorrow. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, later, traders.